In this video, I want to share some client results that we have gotten when we work individually with people to create their workshop, turn it into an evergreen acquisition machine, and use it to scale their business. So the first person that I want to share with you, her name is May Cunningham. And when she first came to us, she was actually very new in business. So she didn't have a ton of experience. She didn't have tons of clients. She was very limited in her self-knowledge, meaning what she believed she could do for other people. And I want to share her success story with you because I know some of you are here and you may not even know yet how you can best help someone through a digital course. Well, with May, we found that she had certain passions, certain interests. She had a background as an actor, a theater actor. That's what she was trained in school to do. And she loved the theater. She loved telling stories. And she was able to actually put together a workshop that we turned into an evergreen acquisitions machine that helped people to find their story in their marketing. Isn't that a cool idea? And even though she didn't have tons of client results, and even though she didn't have tons of business experience, we were able to help her put all the pieces together, help her to build the process, to get the traffic, to do all that, and scale her evergreen acquisition machine to $15,000 to $18,000. It would fluctuate here and there, dollars per month. In profit, not revenue, in profit. Now, what does that mean? It means that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, her workshop was selling online, and her input, meaning the work she had to do to support that, was on occasion check in with her virtual assistant to see if the virtual assistant had any specific questions from their support desk. Otherwise, she had zero fulfillment, so she didn't have to do any client work. People were already taking her evergreen version of her workshop, meaning a pre-recorded version of her workshop, so she didn't have to give it live. And there was nothing else in her business that she was doing. She didn't have what we call a traditional back end. So she didn't have a group coaching program. She didn't have services to offer. She just had her workshop. So a lot of times you may hear from people in the community of online marketing that, low ticket, inexpensive offers can't really be that profitable. And you're only going to make a bunch of money if you've been in the business for, a long time and you're an expert. Well, clearly, May demonstrates that neither of those are true. Now, of course, some of you are going to say, yeah, well, $15,000 to $16,000 a month, that's not really that much. Okay, well, let me give you an example of someone who is a little bit more experienced. His name is Bill Mueller. And he came to us as an experienced copywriter. Now, Bill had a problem that a lot of people have, and maybe you have this problem. It is that you are good at what you do, but the only way you make money is by directly working with clients or trading time for money. So maybe you don't necessarily have to work with clients. Maybe you just have a job. Maybe you're, let's say, an accountant, for example, and you're really good at accounting. Or let's say you're a personal trainer and you're really good at personal training. You help people in what you do in your day job, but the only time you get paid is when you are actually putting in hours. Well, that's a problem if you're trying to scale your income because there are only so many hours in the day. You may feel like a superhuman, but if you try to work 80 hours a week, eventually you're going to crash and burn. So you have to start using smarter strategies. And that's what Bill came to us for. He wanted us to help him create smarter strategies. So what did we do? We helped him to create a workshop. We turned it evergreen. In his case, his workshop was related to copywriting and helping people to get results with their own copywriting and sales material, et cetera, in their business. We set that business and that evergreen workshop up for him. And within 7 days, maybe even less than 7 days, he started profiting from his evergreen acquisition machine. He started making sales 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and eventually he was making between $25,000 and $30,000 per month just from the workshop evergreen acquisitions machine that he created. Then, and this is what's really powerful, he started doing more workshops. He started offering his services again to everyone who purchased his workshop, but he was able to drastically increase his fees. So by continuing the evolution of creating workshops, making them go evergreen as acquisition processes, that $30,000 a month that I mentioned before, that very soon increased. I'll just put it that way. Increased by quite a bit. So again, you can see the spectrum here of, we have May, who's helping people, maybe doesn't have a lot of experience, and Bill, who has a lot of experience. So those are just some numbers to help you see expectations. But I know someone's going to say, okay, well, that sounds great, but both of those people, they only are, they're doing business-oriented workshops. What about me if I don't have a business oriented offer? Meaning I don't know how to help people make money. Maybe you're here because you know how to help people lose weight. Maybe you're here because you know how to help people feel better, help maybe overcome depression or overcome anxiety, or you're here because you help people repair their relationships. All of those are good workshop ideas. Here's an example of a client of ours. This is Anne, and she is one of my favorite clients because she helps people do stuff that's near and dear to my heart, which is to write fiction. So some of you know, or maybe you don't, that one of my other businesses is I write and self-publish murder mysteries, which I always people get surprised that that's what I do, that I write about murder stories. But I love it, and I make a lot of money doing it. Self-publishing, I love story, I love Netflix and all that kind of stuff. So Anne came to us, and she was a very interesting story. She started her career many, many years ago as a developmental sort of reader and buyer of scripts in Hollywood. So people would send in their scripts, she would read them, and she worked for this big company, and if she found a good script, she would tell her boss, and then the boss would say, okay, should we buy this or not? And that was sort of her job. Well, she hadn't done that in a long time. She went on to do other things, had other careers, but she missed being involved in story and creating story. And so she came to us. We helped her to create a workshop, to set that workshop up into an evergreen acquisitions machine. And what do you think the outcome was? 6 figures a year in profit, not in weeks and months, but within days of launching her workshop through the evergreen acquisition machine process. She didn't teach people how to use story for their business. She didn't even teach people how to write a story so that she could make a bunch of, whoever was writing the story could sell to Hollywood. She just helped people who wanted to write better stories, write better stories. And we have had private clients in all sorts of niches, from helping people with intermittent fasting to helping people with specific health ailments to relationship coaches and people who work through, for example, repairing the relationship, one of our clients, repairing the relationship between the parent and the child. We've had clients, I'm just thinking of them all in my head right now. We've had clients who have helped with homeschooling. We've had clients who have helped with things like systemizing a business. So not just growing a business through marketing, but if you're really good at detail and systems and helping people to find time in their life. We've helped people create workshops on hiring your first outsourcer. We have this amazing attorney client who's one of my favorite clients of all times, who helps people to trademark their ideas in their business. We've had clients who help other people online launch their first courses. We've had clients help people get their first client. So for example, we had a client who is a really good freelance writer, and he wanted to help other people start a freelance writing business. His workshop was all about getting your first client. So the point is that what you are trying to achieve here and the outcomes of being able to do this are as follows. Your goal is to figure out a way to help someone achieve something, and then to package that ability, that process, that outcome into a digital format so that you can get it in front of as many people as possible. And that is what we're going to be doing together. And I wanted to share these case studies with you. One, to show you the scope and range. Two, to let you know this isn't my first rodeo. Three, to give you some confidence for yourself to know that this is very possible. People are doing this all the time. Just in the year 2020, we did more than 34 of these for private clients, plus all the people who bought our workshops and the many thousands of people who have been getting results doing that. And then lastly, of course, to let you know that we do take on private clients. So if you ever want us to help you, again, support@peacefulprofits.com, and we'd be happy to have a chat. See if you're qualified, see if there's something we could do together. We love working with people. Okay, so that's my little pitch there. Let's get back to it. Hopefully this has inspired you and excited you about what we're going to be doing together. There's going to be some work involved, but I can promise you it will be worth it if you stick through to the end, get your stuff built, get it out there, and get it out helping people. Again, you're going to hear that from me a lot. This is about helping people. If you can, now more than ever, okay? Now more than ever, people need help, okay? And they are willing to pay for that help. So that's what we got to do, is get you out there helping as quickly as possible. Okay, that's it. On to the next one.